We're live, guys.
Are we?
Yes, we are.
Oh yeah, okay. A percent up market.
Acha, doing very well today.
Nifty.
Second in a trot. Much like what the
Yes.
global markets did.
Yes, पर global market इतने नहीं बढ़े थे यार.
Sir, MSCI All Country World Index had the second consecutive day of gains.
Even US had the second consecutive day of gains.
For the first time in the last 1 month.
पर उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता मेरे ख्याल से.
फर्क ये पड़ता है कि आजकल गेन्स मिलते ही नहीं है तो जितना मिला बटर लो.
मतलब अब टाइम से होराइजन बना लो.
अभी तो आग you blink and the markets will correct also.
Yeah, I think there's some short covering which is happening as Sensex
Expiry.
है.
अब Sajeet always brings up this expiry reason यार.
Yeah, because it's short covering हो रहा है यार. मतलब in the sense you are saying 22,700 जो है वो resistance test कर रहा है अभी.
Agree.
ठीक है वो कर रहा है and there is a good base getting built up. If you look at the F1 numbers 22,500 पे काफ़ी positions build हो रहे हैं आपके. तो कॉल वहाँ पर 2700 में अभी है और थोड़े से बिल्डअप हो रहे हैं 23,000 की तरफ भी, बट बेस 22,500 का हो रहा है. सो I think the base would be that unless there is some adverse news which comes in and then it disrupts. But I hope that it holds 1%. पर उतना वॉल्यूम उतना है नहीं आज. I mean that's only worry I have. कि if it was on a higher volume 1% gain, I would have said it will hold. But the volumes are very low today.
Yeah. But small caps are doing okay, which is a good part. And we are doing well despite the fact that today evening the US markets will be quiet because it is the FOMC.
आज
outcome
FOMC शुरू हो रहा है.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
हाँ, कल आउटकम आ जाएगा तो थोड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है.
So yeah, that's the only thing. And कल BOJ भी है मॉर्निंग में. So and BOJ is expected to hold rates at 0.5 50 basis.
BOJ can only hold or raise.
This.
They can't reduce
But
despite the debt problem that they
That
have.
problem they have. And
BOJ is Bank of Japan by the way.
Yeah.
अच्छा viewers by the way, sorry repeat. पहले please like. आप अगर 20 लाइक करेंगे तो हम क्वेश्चंस ले पाएंगे. So please put in the likes. If you like our show, of course. And if you like it, then subscribe as well.
Yeah, please hit subscribe as well.
Yes.
It always helps.
That's
Spread the word.
That's the condition put on us by the producers कि तुम आगे नहीं बढ़ोगे जब तक.
Yeah.
But anyway, whatever it is, the producer is watching.
Yeah. So lot of stocks, for example, in news today, last few days, I'm calling this week a week of positive brokerage notes. Because we've seen the last 4-5 days, this week मतलब last 5 days, a clutch of very constructive notes. So ये BSE पे एक आ गया, 4000 के नीचे गया था, there was a note. UBS? No. UBS on BSE. Then there was somebody on JSW Energy, a constructive note. HSBC on Tata Motors, constructive note.
या पर मुझे एक चीज़ बताओ. We need to take and I'm being the contrarian here. ब्रोकरेजेस को थोड़ा सा contrarian में
Goldman and Godrej Consumer.
हाँ पर आज सिटी का भी ले लो TCS का डाउनग्रेड आया है.
हाँ वो बड़ा वाला है.
हाँ बड़ा वाला है वो एक्चुअली 26 टाइम्स से 22 टाइम्स कर दिया डी रेटिंग मतलब पी मतलब मार्च 26 का 28 टाइम्स था उसको 22 कर दिया.
And we spoke about IT
September 26 को.
I think they were listening to us yesterday.
It could be. It's actually a derating of the P for TCS, which basically means a derating of P for the IT sector in some way.
हमने तो बोला ही था.
हाँ हम तो बोल ही रहे थे.
हाँ. तो मुझे ये बताओ सजीत सर, जैसे IT को प्रॉब्लम है और बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है वैसे either you or you. Ola's biggest problem.
हाँ distribution.
Let's start with Ola.
Yeah, distribution. That's the biggest
Do you
problem.
own an Ola?
I don't.
You do?
No.
But I
मैं
know
check.
of someone, a close friend who owns one.
No, I know people who.
Is she happy?
Very happy. He's very happy.
I know a person in our office who has taken 2 Olas. हाँ. So.
App या bike?
बाइक ऐप तो मेरे पास भी है पर वो लिस्टेड नहीं है. प्रॉब्लम ये है.
Your view.
I think the problem is with respect to distribution. They are now plateauing at 24,000 units a month. And I'm assuming that because they are saying that कि हम 800 हर रोज बेचते हैं 800 units, and the biggest issue for them now is a registration kind of thing. So numbers are going to be very inconsistent. They are claiming 24,000, वाहन में वो दिखाता नहीं है तो वाहन में वो डिले से आता है. So and now that they have taken it in house, Vahan is the only way to see whether sales have happened or not in that sense, or else there's a big backlog which is coming into play for them. So distribution is one. They're talking about 4,000 stores, and I'm seeing mixed reports about it, saying that all 4,000 stores have not received proper approvals. So many of them are shut, or they've been asked to shut down till they get proper approvals in place and all. So if this till the time distribution comes into play, that's going to be there. Coupled with the few things in the sector which is there, which is intensity of what you call the competition which is there, Bajaj and TVS. Bajaj has used its distribution platform very well. In the sense, in the last 1 year, the kind of market share gain it has done, and followed by TVS. It is surprising how they've been able to leverage that distribution strength of theirs. And I was speaking to Ether. I mean, they're coming with an IPO as well. This is a couple of months back, and I was discussing generally, and they're saying that it's all about the distribution play and being focused in a market where you see your growth. So Bajaj has been able to figure out which markets are going to give you EV play, which markets are going to give you ICE play, and they've been able to push the vehicles in those markets perfectly, and that's what is plaguing Ola. Plus, abhi jo they're talking of reverse integration into the batteries and other stuff, batteries and stuff. वो जब आएगा तो आएगा उसको, and again that entire thing of when batteries come into play, I'm not sure about the profitability of Ola, because as of now we're looking Ola as just a two-wheeler play. When batteries come into play, cost structures change हो जाएंगे उसके, और profitability and EBITDA structure change हो जाएगा, so we don't know how it's going to play. So it's little flux for the next 12 to 18 months.
Is it below 50 now?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Below 50, right?
Which is
IPO 75, all-time high 150.
अभी 50 के नीचे.
50.
And the biggest problem is that the moment it goes below IPO price,
went below IPO price some days ago.
हाँ, ऊपर जाना मुश्किल हो जाता है उसके लिए. वो उसके लिए नेचुरल रेजिस्टेंस बन जाता है उसके लिए. तो वो है.
और नेचुरल रेजिस्टेंस में 50% आ गया है. तो बहुत डिफरेंस है. Okay.
So difficult to say. जहाँ पे negatives build होते ही जाता है. You just keep seeing it slide. You feel that अभी खत्म होगा.
हाँ, अब प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि ईथर का जो IPO आ रहा है, इसका वैल्यूएशन ऑलमोस्ट 30-40% नीचे आ गया IPO से. अभी ईथर का वैल्यूएशन भी हाफ में आएगा.
Yeah. So I mean, the last point on this, according to me, is that of all the veteran investors that we speak to on the channel, offer, etc., and people talk about buying a Zomato, buying a PB fintech, buying this. I'm not saying that all of these are recent recommendations, but over the last 6 months, I've heard enough people. I haven't heard anybody tell me that I'm having a high conviction buy on Ola. Now, I'm not singling out Ola. I'm just giving you the feedback that from the large marquee investors, I haven't heard too many people talking about this fin. So, I think there are some chinks in the armor which the management needs to resolve before it gets the confidence back, I think.
I mean, some confidence, it needs to get a lot of confidence. Serious confidence back from the market.
Problem hai.
Yeah, and now they're talking about the bike also something.
I like what the guys set out to do, right? I mean, just the whole plan was
He's
fabulous.
Disruptor, means in the sense. But the point is that every disruptor will face this kind of challenge. He has to hold. The point is, the moment you become much more transparent with your investors, with the market, and you are very clear of your path, it helps you in averaging out, or that volatility gets averaged out for any stock in that sense. So if you are following that mantra, right, saying I'm going to be transparent, I'm going to be my disclosure standards will be way above what industry is talking about, and I'm not going to get into a fight with a comedian, then it works. And
sorry, and I also want to know since we are talking about platform companies, there was a note on PB Fintech, and I think Hersh interviewed PB as well today. But speaking of disclosure standards, I love the way Zomato did it when they were right in the thick of fire. They set out this thing wherein they gave a question answer at the end of the results, released on the exchange. These are the most important questions and a conversation of sorts. And that gave a lot of details. I know of investors who called me and said कि आपने वो पढ़ा. Zomato has done a very good thing.
या बट जोमेटो बाकी से बात नहीं करता है ना, सिर्फ अपना ही क्वेश्चन डालता है, अपने आंसर करता है,
At
पर
least-
कर रहा है.
at least.
That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. At least they did that, and people appreciate that is what I'm saying. But how's PB Fintech today, and what was the note about, and what did the management say?
So PB Fintech and insurance in general, right? We've spoken about this on this forum as well.
No, but PB because it's a platform.
Yeah, but that's exactly what has created the kind of stock price performance over the last 3 to 4 months, and the note was directly relating to the stock price performance. We've seen a sharp downtick with regard to how the stock has gone from 2000 plus all the way now to 1300. It's bounced back today to 1400. So that was one point, and that's largely because of the slowdown in the insurance sector as a whole. So they're saying that PB in particular, Kotak is saying this, PB in particular has more advantages than your average Joe insurance player and distributor. And they're saying that because the number of levers it has, Paisa Bazaar, Policy Bazaar, plus within Policy Bazaar, Life General, plus within Life General, then you have your agents which are selling Life and General versus the online business. And therefore, the levers are quite a few. And they're not just skewed towards ULIPs. They don't have to think about product mix. They don't have to think about anything. They just have to sell, basically. So some of those factors, they believe that will actually play in PB's favor. And they believe that valuations now look decent. 7% upside from where we are today is what they're penciling in right now.
7%.
Right now, yeah. Of course, yesterday, the stock has moved 5%. So it's mid-teens somewhere, but 7%. Now, it's also venturing into healthcare, which is into hospitals. And
healthcare है या administrator है, healthcare administrator.
Healthcare है. They are literally setting up
hospitals, setting up hospitals.
Yes, they're setting up hospitals.
And you're saying that that will require a lot of capital, right?
No, but I spoke at length. Spoke to him at length about this. So it's a separate entity. But
40% stake held by PB
but
and
they
investors.
felt that हाँ मतलब जैसे नारायण हृदयालया ने वो hospitals हैं तो back end insurance देना चालू किया है. They are doing the other way, right? Because they have the insurance body and they are setting up hospitals because they believe that co-join thing is a very good one. And he sounded confident about this. Repeated.
Who's the 60% investor in it?
That they're not willing to disclose at this point. But he's saying that the 60% investment was subscribed 3x.
So why is he not disclosing?
Because there are some confidentiality agreements.
क्या confidentiality है
Now,
इसमें?
I'm not
Public
so
listed
sure.
company है, तुम shareholder का पैसा 40%
The entity
डाल दो.
which they are investing in is a private company.
Private company.
You are using PB Fintech's cash to infuse into that private company.
I think there is a
40%.
dichotomy
40%. They are doing it.
No. So 33.5% is by PB Fintech.
PB Fintech.
The balance is by co-founders. That's essentially the.
Co-founders means senior
Yeah, right.
management.
मतलब disclosure होना चाहिए अगर PB Fintech का cash use करता है. But I think what he said last that I remember was that अभी तक वो तय नहीं है modality. कि वो 100% PB Fintech का 30% डालेगा कि नहीं. उसने बोला कि वो open है.
नहीं.
They want to do it. Statement of intent है. Actual cash use नहीं हुआ अभी तक.
Cash obviously use नहीं हुआ है अभी तक. Cash obviously use नहीं हुआ है अभी तक. And of course, they still have to take approval from equity shareholders and so all of those processes are left. This is just an announcement saying that we have an intent to do this. We're going to go into healthcare.
No, but you know,
We're going to
like
tie
you
up
say,
with
like
400
you are
hospitals.
saying that it's a venture which has a potential, like in the case of Narayana, Devi Shetty's venture, right? You're doing
some
the
people are saying.
reverse way of it, and you are getting investors who are subscribing 3x in it. Then you should be able to disclose it, right? In that sense. You have done the financial closure, then only you came to the stock exchange and said that 40% stake will be held by 33 PB Fintech and remaining 7 or 7.5 by the senior management personals of PB Fintech.
Yeah, no,
वो करने के
I
बाद ही
fully take your point, but for whatever reason, what he's saying is there are modalities and there
otherwise,
are disclosure agreements.
why is
which they've
the
signed.
market punishing the stock? अगर ये इतना पोटेंशियल वाला स्टॉक है तो पनिश क्यों कर रहा है?
या
एक तो सब कुछ ठुका है मेरे हिसाब से और दूसरा आई थिंक मे बी
नहीं ठुका तो ये न्यूज़ के बाद ही है ना, उससे पहले तो नहीं. 25% जो गिरा है
और न्यूज़ पे गिरा था
News-
उसका।
हाँ।
न्यूज़ पे गिरा था, 1700 तक गया था।
हाँ,
From
17 से
15-20%.
14, फिर उसके बाद 1400 में भी गया।
अभी
वो
अभी
तो
तो 1300 पे गया है.
Market meltdown, I think.
हाँ, वो
Zomato
market
गिरा
meltdown.
है, सब कुछ
So a
गिरा
lot
है,
of it
Swiggy
was
गिरा
market
है।
meltdown. And sir, also you understand the way the stock has gone up. वो 350 से 2000 गया है.
नहीं वो ठीक है,
अभी मतलब in a matter of 2 years.
but there has to be something triggering that fall, right?
6x. हाँ तो
मतलब,
no. So yes, there was lack of clarity. After which they came out and they, if you remember, at first they didn't talk to anyone. After that they came out and they spoke to media. I'd spoken to him offhand as well. I'd requested him that you must speak to media.
Yeah, but that model
And
has changed, right? Means at that time, if I remember, correct me, they said, oh, we want to go into healthcare administrator role, which is there globally, that kind of stuff. Now we are saying that no, healthcare
no, they
administrator
said,
नहीं है, हम health
they
hospital
said
में
we
जा
are
रहे हैं.
open to both. They had said
Last
back
30
then also.
seconds on this, but हाँ. Hersh,
So they
please
had
finish.
said back then also that they are open to both. They had said that, so today the model that they are trying to follow is they're trying to follow an asset light model, but they're still going to set up 4 to 8 hospitals fresh. They're only going to operate out of 400 hospitals rather than the 14,000 hospitals which you operate through if you're in the general insurance network. And therefore those 400 hospitals will be touch points for them to collect data, analyze data, and see whether the capital allocation which is being done well, and whether this can happen at scale as well, and whether the profitability metrics still add up or not. So it's going to be more, yes, it's going to be a business model which is being built because, and he's justifying that. I asked him for IRR, etc., but he's justifying that by saying there are 60% is going to be owned by other investors. And those are not just within the healthcare community, they are also financial investors. Some are within the financial investment space, some are healthcare plus financial investors.
It's a 2,000 crore
Sorry,
venture.
we have to take more questions.
ठीक है.
We have to take more
So
questions.
that's
the thing.
That's the
Do you want to
justification
discuss
he's-
Bajaj?
No, we can discuss Bajaj, but before that,
हाँ.
we have to take some questions.
Questions, yeah.
So let's take yesterday's questions. Avanti
Okay.
feeds, either of you have a view? Shivani Mishra had a question yesterday. on this one.
Basic thing, they're into, they're trying to get into pet food now. Their shrimp is one of the big businesses for them. Tariff impact, what is going to be for them is little uncertain at this point in time because reciprocal tariff can come in, which will impact them. The biggest cost factor for them is freight and logistics as of now, which has been on the high. If it comes down, then it's going to be a positive for them. Otherwise, so there are a couple of global headwinds which are there, which needs to be navigated for Avanti Feeds. Otherwise, they're getting into a newer segment for pet foods and all for domestic market. So valuation पे I don't have anything specific because pet foods को मैं उतना नहीं देखता कि कैसे वो होता है. But
Yeah,
fundamentally,
but
these are
stock
the
has
few.
spiked recently, and when you're looking at 5-year averages, it trades at around 20 times, currently trading at around 25 times, broadly.
So
So around 20 to 25% premium to 10-year average.
10-year average,
Broadly,
yeah.
that's how it is.
And despite the fact there are headwinds, and I think उसके बाद, so there is, watch out for these factors going forward. And yes, look at their transcripts, earnings transcript. They are talking about all this in their transcripts as well.
I think the most important part is the fact that it's virtually the market share in shrimp is extremely large. For a company of this
So
size. 12,000 crore market cap.
tariff on
50%
shrimps will
will be
have a
huge.
major impact on them actually.
Yeah, 50%. I think 50% market share.
Yeah,
in
they're
shrimp,
one of the
if I'm not
largest
wrong.
exporters
The
as well.
largest exporters. So, yeah.
Okay.
Titagarh wagon.
हाँ मतलब यार railway, all of them have this issue of the question
Isn't it
marks
disappointing that railway, which was the capex kind of thing, has suddenly gone off the radar? I mean, capex आ नहीं रहा है कहाँ?
ज़्यादा capex अभी हाँ तो which is the problem which is why the stocks have been derated. For now it is not there because maybe the priorities are around consumption and some of the other forms. आ जाएगा वापस.
But railway capex was supposed to be what, 10 lakh crores or something over the next
Over a number of years. So which
right?
I think that this is a 1 year pause or 2 year. I don't know how many years pause to be honest.
So budget 3 lakh crore का है. Railway budget is around 3 lakh crore, and there's been no incremental additions in this year.
Yeah,
So the
but
question
we are
mark
talking about capex over a period of 10 years. That's what they had spoken about, right? And that's why these stocks all started running up because इतना capex आ रहा था, ये सारे इन्हीं companies के पास आया.
4 साल में ही हो जाएगा.
हर कंपनी ने आई थिंक मेटल कंपनी के साथ एक जेवी बना के रखा है for
पर सर इसमें
wagons and other
execution का
stuff.
भी issue है ना. How much capacity is there? How much are they executing? Like for
The
example,
tendering has
Jupiter
been
Wagons
slow.
is still growing in terms of the wagons per month. They're continuing to grow it. It's currently at
Yeah, but I think the order book is something which
1,000
is now
wagons a month.
coming to worry, right? Because the new tendering is not coming into play.
वही प्रॉब्लम है.
Problem वहाँ पर आ रहा है.
Yeah.
It's not about revenue growth or profitability growth for them. It's about the book which is not expanding because tendering has slowed down.
Yeah, that's the problem.
that and execution, no sir.
And that
So
will
those are the
Execution तो हो रहा है.
तो हो
हो
रहा
रहा
है.
है.
Titagarh and all of that, the
Tita-
monthly numbers are looking okay, Hersh, I think.
yeah. So on the private side, yes, but on the public side, on the PSU side, it's okay. It's
हाँ, but
nothing
ये मतलब
fancy.
because the question was for Titagarh, that's what I'm
हाँ,
saying. कि-
Titagarh, yes,
and
okay.
They are executing okay, but ये problem वही है जो ABB सबको है ना. ABB 9,000 वाला 5,000 है, because the problem is, the fear is that future order inflows will get impacted. So I think that's the issue.
Yeah.
Valuations 32 times है. ज़्यादा growth ना होगा तो next year भी 30 times है. 30 times for a stock which is not gonna grow for the next 1 year. Maybe you'll get other opportunities, which is why interest नहीं आ रहा है stock में. मुझे लग रहा है तब तक.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Valuations भी भाग भी गए हैं ना काफी.
but अभी वापस गिरने के बाद it is about 30 times.
Yeah.
30 times is okay.
The next question is on Raymond Lifestyle.
मतलब सॉरी यहाँ से बहुत डाउनसाइड पता नहीं है बट एट 30 नॉट बिकॉज द स्टॉक 2000 का 700 हुआ है बट बिकॉज अभी वो 30 टाइम्स पे है 30 टाइम्स से 20 टाइम हो जाएगा बट एज हर्ष सिंह वो थोड़ा कैपेक्स है तो ये एक ईयर का शायद पॉज हो बाद में आगे आए तो मुझे बहुत डाउनसाइड पता नहीं
But 30 times से भी you are saying there is a risk to downside.
यार अभी ये मार्केट ऐसा है कि कुछ भी हो सकता है राइट देयर आर ट्रांसफार्मर कंपनीज पावर जनरेशन कंपनीज अदर पावर जो बहुत गिरे हैं एंड द वैल्यूएशंस हैव बिकम रियली अट्रैक्टिव सो हु नोस एनीवेज
So Devanshu Kumar, he's asking us on Raymond. The stock fell from 3,000 to 1,000 after demerger from Raymond Limited. Looks very attractive for long-term perspective.
I'd looked at it
It's-
back then, but
हाँ,
I don't. After demerger, I've not really, unfortunately,
Means-
looked at it.
It's trying to get the same valuation as that Manevar company is trying to get, right? Means, but Vedant, right? We made Vedant still at the trading at a premium in the market as compared to any other retailer which is there, and they're trying to get the same.
पर ये
kind of-
core Indian wear में है.
हाँ,
ये
ये core
थोड़ा
India
western.
हाँ वो ये वेस्टर्न में ज़्यादा है but it's also getting into Indian ethnics.
It
so
is.
It is getting into Indian ethnics. So it's I think the revenues is something which needs to be looked at. If it gives you a good quarterly growth rate, then maybe you look at a Vedant kind of valuation. But Vedant is at the premium end.
हाँ मैं just valuation ही देख रहा हूँ.
वो उसमें so Raymond Lifestyle the business is core. They have demerged the entire retail. It now is a pure retail outlet, but within retail they have multiple segments, and now they have gone into Indian ethnic as well. If you speak to them, they will say that we are trading at a discount, but yes, they're seeking valuation which a Vedant is seeking.
तुमने कुछ खरीदा वहाँ से
नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं.
नहीं sir.
मोहे मान्यवर
नहीं sir.
you're not a Virat Kohli fan
Sir, I am very much a Virat Kohli fan, but I don't buy everything he sponsors. Some of us are still getting there. Sir. But okay.
MRF time
Jokes point being.
by the way I saw that Shubman Gill has shifted the sticker on his bat from a Seat to MRF.
So are you buying MRF now?
No. I'm buying what the car company gave.
Okay. So, sorry, just quickly on valuations. It's trading at around 11,000 crore in market cap. Around, my mistake. 6,800 crores in market cap. And the top line last 12 months, roughly, is around 5,000 crore, approximately, for Raymond Lifestyle. Around 11% margin business. 11%.
Next one is from Shrikar Reddy. It's all about the fun. Many mutual funds have started buying stocks in hotels and hospital-related stocks.
Not have. They've been buying for a
Right.
while now. I think
they have become the new defensive, right? In that sense.
Yeah, and hospitals also. I mean, people are saying that वो सही वो ARR, RPOB, average revenue per operating bed or occupied bed, RPOB लो, RPU लो, जो भी लो. But a lot of people are very constructive on hotels, and that theory continues. And for hospitals as well. I remember a Jeffrey's note. Apollo Hospitals 8,000 वाला 6,100 हो गया था. उन्होंने बोला कि this is the best buy. And almost everybody who's coming on air who's bullish on healthcare is saying hospitals to lena hi hai. And you know, one thing, there's a lovely conversation with Dr. Amit Verma. He runs a fund called Quadria Capital. So Amit Verma was of the opinion, Dr. Verma was of the opinion that यहाँ पे भी branded play चलेगा. So I was asking him कि यार बॉम्बे में तो हम ऐसे नहीं चाहते कि एक्स या वाई हॉस्पिटल है वहाँ पे. हम वहाँ पे जो डॉक्टर हमें चाहिए वो जो हॉस्पिटल में हो, ब्रीच कैंडी हो या हो, हम लोग वहाँ पे चलते हैं. तो he told me कि बॉस
और which is the best hospital in your locality also, that's why also.
या फिर हम चलो वो तो ब्रांडेड पे आ जाता है, बट मैंने बोला कि हम लोग को ये डॉक्टर चाहिए कि डॉक्टर सजीत अगर चाहिए, नहीं चाहिए किसी को, बट अगर डॉक्टर सजीत चाहिए तो डॉक्टर सजीत अगर फॉर एग्जांपल अपोलो में कर रहे हैं तो हम अपोलो में जाएंगे. डॉक्टर सजीत अगर ब्रीच कैंडी
पर आजकल डॉक्टर से जी अगले मल्टीपल हॉस्पिटल पे जाते हैं, तब क्या करोगे आप?
दो तीन में से कोई भी. बट सो ओके, जस्ट टू फिनिश द पॉइंट, डॉक्टर वर्मा, क्वाड्रिया कैपिटल सेड that is a phenomenon maybe of a Bombay, maybe of a Delhi, maybe of a Chennai, maybe of Hyderabad, whatever it is, the 7, 8, 10 major cities. Varna, he said, as you expand, the branding of a hospital will command a big play in people's minds कि हमें यहाँ पे जाना है. So he said that is what will happen.
And it's also turning out to be a regional and geographical play as well, right? In Tamil Nadu and northern India and others, you will have those Medantas, Apollos, and creating a brand as a national brand.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what Dr. Verma's point is. Yeah. कि ये होगा. NHS. So yeah, but everybody's constructive there. What else?
And that's one play where there's consensus.
Yes. Shreya Singhai has multiple questions for you.
For you, Hersh and me both. All three.
How is IGIL, SGS, Root, MediAssist and MedPlus look for 4 years?
Wow. यार इस पे कल आएंगे. We'll check the reports and come back to you on this. The way we came back for 2 questions today, Avanti and Titagar.
Yeah. मैं इसमें Root तो
MediAssist also we've spoken a little bit.
अच्छा, if you guys know, please.
MediAssist बताओ.
TPA basically. It's basically.
So is the health insurance impacted by the current slowdown or something?
Yeah, it will be. But this one, where it stands out, it has a 24% market share as a TPA. And what it does is it helps you with your claims and helps distribute insurance. So both of those together. Overall, it's trading, if I recall right, at around 20 times, maybe 25 times, something in the 20s. Very, very strong growth is what they're guiding for. There's a lot of consolidation happening in this space, so something to look out for. And I'm just going to quickly take out valuations because I don't want to go wrong there. So it's trading at 31 times, beg your pardon now, around 3,000 crore in market cap. So broadly that's what it does, and that's how the business is. Not spoken to them very often, frankly, so don't have a view. But maybe we can go through con calls and come back on this one tomorrow.
IGI I can talk about. They had a decent quarter, I think Q3. Means this is a calendar year company, a Blackstone backed company, which it is. And they are into certifications of lab-grown diamonds and natural diamonds.
So stock itna नीचे क्यों गया? I thought the management explained that the results weren't the best, na? ठीक था?
नहीं, it was okay. They did not disclose the breakup of revenue between lab-grown and natural diamonds, but it seems that the volume business is coming from lab-grown. The difference is very stark in terms of the kind of certification fees they get, $50 and $15, that kind of difference which is there. And the mix is now moving towards lab-grown diamonds. So it's volume-driven business which is now happening. And Q3 I remember the management talking about it, saying that there was a shutdown of many of the manufacturing facilities or diamond processing facilities after immediately after Diwali for 15-20 days. Normally it's a week of holiday which happens, but इस बार 15-20 दिन का था, तो उससे भी impact हुआ था, उनका top line में impact आया था. So that's what it is. But they were guiding decent growth, saying that despite that we will be growing. And the merger of Belgium and Netherlands subsidiary will add to it. But US market retail is slowing down. So Belgium mainly handles retail clients in US. So that's also a slowdown factor which is coming into play there.
So you
Interesting.
wanna keep your eye out on that because that slowdown doesn't look too good.
बाकी रूट का है और SGS का है और Med Plus you have anything?
SGS Med Plus. No.
No,
not
we'll
for
get
the
these three
moment.
tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll try and
We'll get these three tomorrow.
Yeah. What else?
Srikar Reddy is saying
It's already
need your,
one, huh?
says that need your view on Map My India after Google slashing the pricing of Map platform by 70% in August 2024. I didn't notice any impact on impact on revenues of Map My India. Do you guys see any impact?
No idea.
We know it's more of a B2B business for Map
Yeah,
My India, right? So it's
sure.
not going to have an impact much of that in their business, which is there. Yes, this is a macro question which is relevant. Hello NDTV team, if FOMC dot plot shows less than 2 rate cuts this year, will market recovery in India stop from Thursday? Or will we have no effect? Thanks for the daily conversation.
One, I think RBI is charting its own course, and if inflation in India were to be okay, it will help. I'm not saying that we'll be completely divergent, that if the Fed doesn't cut, RBI will go in and have 3 rate cuts. Maybe not. But yeah, if there are 2 rate cuts, then I think we should be okay because it sets the stage for the Reserve Bank of India doing 2 or 3. And remember, a rate cut is a necessary condition but not a sufficient one. A lot of other things need to happen for the markets to do well, or a lot of other things need to go wrong for the markets to really do badly from here on. मतलब आज का गेन जाने तो 22,500 से लेके नीचे जाने के लिए a lot of things need to go wrong. This nascent recovery needs to change, needs to be challenged. I hope that the advanced tax numbers are not pointing towards that.
Yeah, I mean, this was very disappointing
Very
numbers.
disappointing numbers.
Q4 numbers
Yeah.
means, and just to explain to the viewers why we are saying advanced tax is disappointing, because advanced taxes are given on PBT level, so it gives you an idea of the profitability. So if your tax rate or tax growth is lower, that means that companies have penciling a lower profitability for Q4. For top line, you should look at the GST numbers because that gives you the top line and revenue of the company. For bottom line, you should look at the advanced tax numbers. That gives you a good idea of which is
And
there.
entirely possible कि top line होगा लेकिन margin में problem होगा.
और
because
इन्फ्लेशन की
pricing
वजह से
power
भी
नहीं है.
इंक्रीज हो सकता है
Yeah,
top
top
line.
line हो सकता है लेकिन margins नहीं होंगे.
But do you see
but so
FOMC का
therefore,
इम्पैक्ट
no,
होगा?
Not really. I mean, I think at 2 or 3 में मुझे नहीं लगता ज़्यादा फर्क पड़ेगा. To be very honest.
What's your guess? Will there be a pause?
No, nothing. No, this policy, nothing.
Nothing, right? There will be a pause. So if there's a pause, then I think they're talking about 2 rate cuts. अगर उससे कम होता है तो प्रॉब्लम होगा.
Yeah, but if the US economy is going into a tailspin, then the Fed is something that we look out for. Remember, from 2020, central banks have driven the markets and not government actions.
Yeah.
It could well be the same this time around. Do we need to wrap up?
या एक जेंसोल पे क्वेश्चन है.
Gensol. Gensol. आप बोलो.
Gensol is all Sajeet sir. हम तो सिर्फ थोड़ा पढ़ लेते हैं.
क्या the question is what's going to happen with Gensol? Will that hit below 50 rupees by the time 1:10 comes?
बताओ मुझे भी सुनना है.
उससे क्या 1:10 से क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Simple as that. It's all about whether the company has enough cash to pay the people and the vendors.
Yeah.
अगर आपका cash नहीं है तो आप you are stuck. So they are trying to raise cash. They are they're trying to stock split करने से एक स्टॉक स्प्लिट काम करता है जब आपका स्टॉक बढ़ रहा हो और देयर इज अ मोमेंटम राइडिंग बिहाइंड इट हेल्प्स यू बिकॉज इट ब्रिंग्स इन लिक्विडिटी. बट आप 1:10 का स्टॉक स्प्लिट करेंगे उससे कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ने वाला अगर आपके पास कैश नहीं है और कैश इन्फ्यूजन नहीं है और इन्वेस्टर्स आपके इसमें कैश नहीं डाल रहे हैं. आपके बिजनेस में आज के डेट में कैश फ्लो का इशू है जिसकी वजह से आप डिफ़ॉल्ट कर रहे हैं. अगर आपके पास कैश नहीं है एंड इफ़ यू डोंट हैव द कैश टू इवन कन्वर्ट द एग्जिस्टिंग warrants which are with price very high, then how will you bring the cash? Because वो लोग जिन लोगों ने सब्सक्राइब किया था नॉन प्रोमोटर्स ने वो तो नहीं करने वाले इस रेट पे. आपको मार्केट में उससे सस्ते में मिल जाएगा तो क्यों आप करोगे? तो दैट्स अ बिगर इशू. कैश आना चाहिए बिजनेस में तभी तो काम होगा.
Agreed.
Correct. And there has to be a turnaround for this kind of value to sustain. If this is the issue price, then.
Final question, Kushal Dev.
1306.
Okay. Sir, please anyone take my question. What is the view on smart meters installation in India? What is the growth of this sector, and how would stock perform in this sector?
God bless my soul. I don't know.
He has some
Very
idea.
quickly. No, I don't know how the stocks will do, to be honest. But has the tendering been very, very strong? Yes, it has been. But a lot of people getting into that play. At least until 6 months ago, that was a thing. Now, power, and therefore metering is a 6-year play. A lot of stocks could do well. A lot of business could come in. But big fish are entering. The Adani Group has entered into this thing. So big fish are entering here, and therefore
A lot of big corporates have entered into
so
it.
therefore margins problem हो सकती है. But stocks का क्या हुआ यार, difficult है. A lot of them are very expensive. So keep that in mind.
And as someone said, eventually I think they're moving into, in many distribution areas, they're moving into a prepaid meters, right? And that is negative for many of the utilities actually. Because prepaid meters का मतलब जो आप deposit देते हैं ना utilities के पास, वो utilities के पास रहेगा नहीं. So it's that treasury operations of those utilities are going to get an effect of cash flow going forward. अगर prepaid में जाता है, it moves. I've seen many regions, many cities जहाँ पर ये हुआ है. Prepaid means you pay in advance and then you consume. तो वहाँ पर deposit की जरूरत नहीं है ना. Postpaid में deposit की जरूरत होती है. Prepaid में क्यों deposit की जरूरत होती है?
And yeah, generating cost में isn't it just synergy to go into the metering business as well?
Generating companies में ही तो सबसे ज़्यादा वो होता है.
Correct. And therefore
उनका जो treasury operation होता है cash flow का, वो इसी केस पे होता है.
Correct. And therefore it makes sense for someone like an Adani Group to go there because they are anyway generating power. So instead of buying from third party and giving them a margin of 20%, might as well keep the margin.
Yes.
I mean, that's my guess is.
Yeah.
But yes, there is a huge impetus on conversion, and if I think budget में भी वो है of additional 0.5% of capex allowed for states if you undertake electric reforms, which includes smart metering as well. So
Got it.
Okay,
guys.
more tomorrow.
Yeah.
yes,
Hit subscribe if you like it and share our content.
And tomorrow morning you have BOJ results coming in. So
And tomorrow evening Fed.
and tomorrow evening Fed. Yeah.
Thank you for tuning
God
in
bless
today.
us. Tough week on the macro.
चलिए. हाँ तब है जमानो से ना क्लोजिंग मार्केट. भाई
Small.
टमाटो
खा लो ना.
टमाटो ने
एक 5 मिनट खाली मारे.
स्मॉल से 2 का शुरू करो.